Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, was minus 17 Celsius. In the eastern city of Kharkiv, it was minus 23. Despite that, Russia unleashing a huge hours-long attack on both cities overnight, largely targeting energy infrastructure. The new attacks after a pause since Donald Trump said on Thursday that Vladimir Putin had agreed to stop striking during cold weather. Trump saying just yesterday that he hopes the US may have good news on Ukraine shortly. We're going to cross once again to Kharkiv, talk to our correspondent Emmanuelle Chaze, who joins us from there. Emmanuelle, we spoke an hour ago. Since then, you've had to move back inside due to new alerts there. Just tell us what the situation in the city seems to be.
Indeed, Stuart, it's a new era that generalized across Ukraine, so millions of people are sheltering fear. Further attacks after last night's hour-long attack with 71 missiles, over 450 drones, which targeted 8 regions of Ukraine, and mostly Dnipro, Kyiv and Kharkiv cities and their energy infrastructure. Here in Kharkiv, you've mentioned it, it is minus 23 degrees Celsius, and tens of thousands of apartments, of houses are now deprived of heating following those strikes. The mayor, Ihor Terehov, said to the population that they could make use of the so-called invincibility points. Those are islands of heat, of energy that are provided within administrative public buildings, such as sports halls, or for example, schools that welcome citizens for just to warm up, to get a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, to recharge all the electronic devices. In the capital, in Kyiv, 6 people were injured because strikes fell on civilian buildings, on high-rise buildings, and also on energy infrastructure. The capital that had been spared over the last few days following a very temporary and very limited truce that had been obtained by Donald Trump just on the city of Kyiv. But we see that Russia continues to strike Ukraine's infrastructures, energy infrastructures, and they had already been devastated following months of strikes, as Ukrainians are going through the harshest winter they've experienced since 2022.
Emmanuelle, of course, just briefly, this is going to ask people, really, to ask Vladimir Putin is really there and really committed to some kind of peace process.
Well, the American side has been, really optimistic about what they can obtain from Moscow. But here, as seen from the ground, it is difficult for the population to grasp any goodwill from the Russian side to stop the bombing and to try and find an issue, to try and find some way towards a peace. War would be over if Vladimir Putin wanted so. It would be over in an instant, and it's not what people here on the ground are experiencing. Here in Kharkiv, it's minus 23. People are left without heating within homes. It affects mostly vulnerable people, and the population simply doesn't see that there are any progresses on the peace front. And the CBR also said, the Foreign Affairs Minister also said, that such strikes on the energy infrastructure, of course, doesn't show that diplomacy is successful with Russia so far.
Emmanuelle, thanks very much. Emmanuelle Chaze joining us there from Kharkiv.